what can you really say about the principles guiding taking off? Because understanding those principles guiding taking off will really help you a lot. And as a quantity surveying student that you are, you need to have that understanding. The moment you have the understanding, your construction measurement become very simple and easy for you to do. Welcome to another episode of Abdul QS Hub. Today, we'll be talking about the principles guiding taking off. But before then, let's quickly explain the word taking off. When you say taking off is a quantity surveying terminology that can also be translated to measurements. Yes, either you refer to it as a taking off or you call it a measurement. That is the language, that is the way it is being called in quantity surveying. But mathematically, it can be referred to as calculation. Yes, but in quantity surveying, you don't call it calculation, but rather you make use of the word taking off or measurement. For instance, your lecturer can never tell you to calculate for a proposed building. No. But rather, they will tell you to take off for a proposed building, or they will tell you to measure for a proposed building. So that is what the word taking off it's all about. It can also be referred to as measurement. And then we have taking off sheet. This taking off sheet actually enables the taking off. Because without the taking off sheet, there is no way you can do the taking off. So what is taking off sheet? Taking off sheet can simply be referred to as a specially ruled paper that is divided into 4 columns, just like the way it's appearing before you on your screen. It is a specially ruled paper that is divided into 4 columns, which enable the booking of dimension from a building plan. Now, this taking off sheet has 4 columns and they have their name. The first column is referred to as timesing column. The second column is referred to as dimension column. The third column is referred to as squaring column. Then while the fourth column is referred to as description column. Or it can also be called waste calculation column. So the fourth column can either be called, you can either call it a description column or a waste calculation column. So that is taking off sheet. Because the taking off sheet is an important tool that help you in doing your construction measurement. So having done that, now I want to briefly talk about the principles guiding taking off. These principles are very, very important. And as a quantity surveying student, you and I really need to understand them. And then the first principle there is what? Studying your construction drawing. When a construction drawing is presented before you, the first thing, the first approach, or the first step to take as a quantity surveyor or as a quantity surveying student is to properly study the drawing. Because the moment you are able to study the drawing, you are able to interpret the drawing, you have the understanding of what the drawing is, then your construction measurement becomes very easy for you to do. So that is why as a quantity surveying student, you should never joke with that aspect. Never you joke with that principle. When a drawing is presented before you, the first thing to do is to study it. You should be able to analyze the drawing. You should be able to interpret what the architect has actually drawn or has actually designed. As a QS student, having the understanding there makes your construction measurement very easy for you to do. So never you joke with studying of your construction drawing, because it's very, very important. And mind you, that is the first step to take while doing construction measurement. And then the second principle here is when you talk about the second principle there is what? Understanding the meaning of that item that you want to take off for. Having the understanding of the meaning of that particular item you want to take off for is very, very important. Because the moment you are able to understand the meaning of that item, it becomes very easy for you to do your construction measurement. Take for instance, let's say trench excavation, just like the way it is displayed on your screen also. What can you say about trench excavation? So in layman language, they tell you to dig the ground, right? So that's digging of the ground. But professionally, you refer to it as what? Excavation. So what can you say about the excavation? The moment you are able to have the understanding of that particular item, you will be able to do the taking off. You will be able to do the construction measurement about that particular item. So it is very, very important to have the understanding. And then, okay, let's cite another instance. Let's say block work also, just like the way it is also displayed on your screen. what can you also say about block work? Because block work is another item to be measured. Is that not so? What can you say? What do you understand by the word block work? You see, having this understanding their meaning, it will help you in doing your taking off very well, perfectly, without any problem. Exactly. And then after that, then the next item there, the next principle guiding taking off is what? Knowing the unit of measurement of that particular item you want to take off for. Knowing their unit of measurement is very, very important, because you really need to understand you really need to know which you really need to understand the unit of measurement. Is it measured in linear meter? Is it measured in square meter? Is it in cubic meter? And so on and so forth. So the moment you are able to have this understanding also, the moment you are able to understand or to know the unit of measurement of that particular item, it also makes your taking off or your construction measurement very, very simple and very easy for you to do. Take for instance, let's say trench excavation, just like we have mentioned earlier. Trench excavation is measured in cubic meter. Is that not? That is to tell you we need our length, we need the width, we need the depth. Either you say the depth, or probably you say the height, or you say the thickness, depending on the kind of item you want to take off for. So now, having the understanding of the units of measurements here now will help you to know. You understand? It has given you an insight that what you need 3 values, which is what? The length, the width, and the depth. Is that not? And then having this understanding, it will then take you back to your drawing to what? To bring out those values, those dimensions that are needed, which is the length, the width, and the depth. You can see how interconnected they are. The first thing you did is what? You studied the drawing perfectly. You are able to interpret, you are able to understand and interpret the drawing. Secondly, you are able to understand the meaning of that particular item you want to do the taking of. And then the third one is what? You are able to know the unit of measurement. And knowing the unit of measurement, it has actually given you that insight, or to know that you need 3 values, which is the length, the width, and the depth, which has now taken you back to your drawing also to bring those values that are needed. Or let's say block work also. Block work is measured in square meter. Is that not? Now you've known the unit of measurement of what? Block work. That's what it is measured in square meter. And then that has to do with what? Just 2 values. Because what makes up an area? That's length and width, or length and breadth, whichever one. You understand? So these 2 values gives you an area, which is going to mean what? In square meter. Exactly. So the moment you're able to understand that this particular item I want to take off for is measured in square meter, or is measured in cubic meter, that will make you to understand that, okay, if it is in cubic meter, I need 3 values. Cubic, right? Cubic meter. So I need the length, the width, and the depth. Is that not? Okay, square meter. That's just the length and the width, which is telling you that what you need just 2 values. So the unit of measurement is another principles guiding taking of that you should never joke with. It is very, very important. Never you joke with that, because if you don't know the unit of measurement of that particular item, then automatically that is where your problem begins. So having the understanding of the unit of measurement, or knowing the unit of measurement of that particular item, is very, very important as well. So don't joke with that. You should know that. And then the last but not the least there is description. As a quantity surveying student, description is very, very important while doing your construction measurement. Some lecturers will tell you that they value description even more than the taking of itself. Reason being that, let's say trench excavation, for instance. You know, trench excavation is actually measured in cubic meter, and then concrete slab is also measured in cubic meter, right? And then let's say hardcore filling is also measured in cubic meter. You can see, if for instance I do the booking, the 3 items now, I've done their booking without description, how can you identify, or how do you expect me to identify that this particular booking is meant for trench excavation, this particular booking is meant for concrete slab, or this particular booking is meant for hardcore filling? You can never know. Why? Because the description is not there. But the moment you're able to do your bookings alongside with what? With the description, it makes it easy for you and I to identify what you have done. So that is why description is very, very important. Be it in tests or in examination, no matter what, ensure your description comes in. After you must have done your taking off, the description should be there. It's very, very important. Never you joke with it, because it speaks a lot about what your taking off is. It speaks a lot about your taking off. And then if you are doing your taking off without description, it's not going to be okay with even the lecturers, because they won't be able to identify what you have done. Yes, if you are doing a taking off, after you must have done all of your bookings, you need to tell me, you need to give me the description for me to understand that, okay, this is what you have done. This particular item is block work, or this particular item is concrete work, or something like that. So your description is very, very important. So these are the 4 principles guiding taking off. And you and I, as a quantity surveying student, we really need to understand these principles guiding them. You should be able to study your drawing properly before diving into construction measurement. You should be able to have the understanding. You understand? You should be able to have the understanding of the meaning of that item you want to do the taking off for. And then the third one is what? You should be able to know the unit of measurement of that particular item. Is it site clearance? Site clearance is measured in square meter. So, okay, square meter, that is to tell you that you need 2 values, which is what? The length and the width, to clear the whole area. You can see. You see, understanding the unit of measurement, or knowing the unit of measurement there, will also help you to know what to do. It will help you to know how many values that are needed to carry out that taking off. Okay, is it hardcore filling we're talking about? We need the length of that particular apartment, we need the width of that particular apartment, and then we need the thickness of our hardcore. You can see. So understanding what hardcore is will help you to know what to do. It makes your measurement easy, and then understanding or knowing the unit of measurement also will even make it more easier for you to do. So that is why never you joke with all of these principles, because they are very, very important as a quantity surveying student. And then mind you, the description. Always ensure to include your description in your taking off. Never you do taking off without description. It is very, very important. So ensure to follow all of these principles, and then don't joke with it. Thank you so much. I'm by name Yusuf Abdurrashid. Don't forget to follow for more videos, comment, like, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. In our next video, we'll be talking about construction measurement. So I would want every one of you to get your calculator by your side, your taking off sheet by your side, and hold your pen. Make sure your pen is very sharp, so we can all flow together in construction measurement. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.